See, hey there, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That's cool. I've never been there. Angelina, what's up? I'm getting ready to talk about you. Captures by Capozzi. So today has been a fantastic day, and I'm excited to have this time. Listen, we're gonna stay on schedule today. I'm not going to be long because I have the chickens out, the baby chicks. They're not really babies, but they're young. What's up, Steve? Little Steven, what's going on? Good to see you. So I have the chickens out, and last year, if you remember, I had them out, and my whole flock got wiped out one night. Something got into the chicken coop. So this week they've been getting out. I have the babies out, the smaller birds out. So I want to make sure that they are in and secure because the night has come, and so I want to make sure they're secure before something gets to them. Last night I was having I could have swore I heard them. So I got up and went outside. Nothing. Everything was chill. It was cool. But tonight I want to talk to you. Yesterday we talked about adding value in relationships and what each of us has to add value to a relationship. So I challenged you last night to look at your life, look at your story, look at heartbreaks, look at everything that you could, every experience that you've had, places that you've been, things that you've done, disappointments. Look at all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly. Look at all of it. Why? Because when you can start to see yourself as being completely valuable, seeing your story as something that doesn't discredit you, but adds value, it can be life-changing for you. So last night I challenged you to take out a notebook, a piece of paper, and begin writing down your story. Begin capturing those things that you've been through, people that have encouraged you, people that have discouraged you, words you've heard that help lift you up, words you've heard that help discourage you and cause you to feel like broken down or unwanted or breakups, heartbreaks, all of it. Write it all down. Get as many topics as you could down. Why? Because in your story, there's clues. There's clues to what you get to use to add value to life. And I shared how I had been through certain situations in life. And because I've been through those situations, it helped me to listen to people more closely, helped me to be able to relate to them better. And so your story is an avenue by which you can add value. If you know what it's like to go through heartbreak, then that gives you an opportunity to love at a greater level. It puts you in a position to be more appreciative of closeness and interaction and connection. When you feel distant from someone, you now know, all right, I know what closeness and connection feels like. So yesterday we talked about adding value that way. Today I want to talk to you about adding value through what makes you weird and strange. So all week I said we're going to address this topic, the thing that I like to call your inner oddball, the thing that makes you weird. What makes you weird is also what makes you valuable. What makes you strange? What is it that you do, the way that you do it, how you are, that makes you different and weird and odd? How can you lean into and press into that part of you that is so different, that is so unique, that you stand out? So you heard me say hello to Captures by Capozzi. Captures by Capozzi is this amazing photographer that in the last few weeks I had the opportunity to meet. And we're working together on the farm. She's taking some riding lessons. And as we were talking about her dream, I said, "What's your dream?" And she says, "Well, I have a business, I do photography." And we were talking about things that she likes to do. And so in this discussion and conversation, I said, "Well, why don't you come to the farm? Why don't you come to the farm one day, take some pictures of horses?" And I was like, maybe you can have a model. And I went on Google and I sent her a picture of like horse photography. And so we started dialoguing back and forth. And we're like, all right, let's do it. And so today we had a model and a photo shoot happen at the farm with the horses. And not only that, some of the young ladies that are part of the program, they got to do a photo shoot too. So a professional photo shoot by a professional photographer happened at the farm. That's not normal. That's weird. That's strange. It's strange that I thought that way. It's strange that I was encouraging that. That's not normal. It's weird. It's not like you just do that all the time. No, it's weird, it's strange, it's odd, but what did it do? It creates opportunities for something unique. See, when you are willing to lean into your dreams and press in and really go for something, when you're willing to take all of your experiences and say, all right, I've been through this. What can I do with this? Now, what do you mean, Brian? What have you been through? I know what it's like to live my life with such low self-esteem that I would walk down the street, that I would walk through the hallways of school with my head down because I was ashamed of my face. I was ashamed of my lips because people used to make fun of them. You have such big lips. And I felt bad about my face. So I would walk through life with my head down because I was so ashamed. Low self-esteem. Here's the thing about self-esteem. No one else gets to, like, it has to come from within. No one else gets to control that. If you don't see it, it doesn't necessarily develop. It has to work from the inside out. That's why it's self-esteem. So I know what that's like. I know what it's like to feel like an outcast. I know what it's like to feel less than when in a group of others. I know what it's like to have low self-esteem. And I know that going through the middle school years and the early elementary school years, and as you go and grow up and you go through life, I know what it's like to just not feel good about myself. And I know that these young ladies that are in 5th grade and 6th grade and 7th grade and 8th grade, and I know that them going through these changes of life, they may not always feel so good about themselves. I know that social media and all these different media platforms are pushing images out to them of what they should look like, how they should be, how they should dress. I know that there is an image that is being pushed out to them that says, if you look like this, then you can be validated. I know that. I'm a girl dad. I have a son too. I know, right? I do. I do plenty of coaching with women. I know. I have the conversations. I know. So what makes me weird? What makes me weird is I have this insight. I have a farm, have horses. You start putting it all together. I have this story in my background of having low self-esteem. I have a passion to see people built up. What makes you weird is what makes you valuable. Where's your inner oddball? What makes you strange is what makes you valuable. We don't need to go through this life feeling like because we are different, there's something wrong with us. Because you are different, that is the very thing that is right with you. And so as Angelina and I were talking, Captures by Kaposi, as we were talking, we were sharing these ideas. And we didn't delay. We didn't put it off. Oh, a year from now. No, we were like, okay, let's get it done. Right? Let's get it done. So we set it up within a few days, like 3 days. We talked, I think, on Sunday. We set it up. We did it today. And these young ladies are going to be able to see themselves captured in a moment, and they'll have a perspective and a view of themselves that they've never had before. Because we are willing to be odd and strange and do this thing and create this event and create this moment, they are going to have a different perspective of themselves. Why? Because it was captured. The picture was taken. They'll be able to see it. Their family members, their friends, they're going to be able to show it. The young lady the older adult woman who was taking pictures in the field with the horses, she's sitting in the grass. She had never been around a horse before. Her first time around a horse, she's sitting in the grass. She's holding the horse. She's taking pictures. There's flowers around her. Creating a moment. Captures by Kaposi. She's growing her business. She's having an opportunity to do something. Why? Because there was part of me that was weird. There was part of me that was odd. Oh, I bought a little horse 12 years ago for my daughter, and I've gone through this process and had this dream to help encourage other people to live their dreams and go for their dreams. And so it's a weird dream, right? It's an odd dream. I'm like, what do you know about horses, Brian? Nothing. I'm just going to do it anyway because there's a dream attached to this horse. I'm going to do it anyway. See, sometimes there's this great quote in the Bible where David, you've probably heard the story of David and Goliath. So David, this young boy, is going to fight Goliath, this champion warrior. And so David goes and he's getting ready and he sees Goliath like calling out this army and nobody's doing anything about it. And David's response is really simple for why he's going to go fight the giant. He says, "Is there not cause?" David, a young man, is going to go fight this champion warrior that's been a champion from the days of his youth. David says, no one else is fighting him. Is there not cause? See, the backstory of David even being there at the fight was he was going to deliver. He was a delivery boy. He was basically being Uber. He was dropping off cheese and food to his brothers that were supposed to be at the battle fighting. He was a delivery man. So isn't that kind of weird? The delivery boy ends up being the one that's going to fight the giant. See, sometimes we will discredit ourselves because we look at ourselves in a certain situation and we think that we are only this. Well, I'm only the delivery boy. If David would have thought that, to this day, there would be no David versus Goliath story. How many sports teams and announcers and broadcasters say, oh, this is an epic David versus Goliath battle, the little guy versus the big guy? His story lives on because he asked the question, is there not cause? He found his inner oddball. He found his weird thing. What was his weird thing? He was like, I'm good at chucking rocks. He's like, I've been taking care of my dad's like sheep and when the bear came, I fought the bear, and when a lion came, I fought a lion. So I'll fight this giant. I'm going to use my slingshot and I'm going to fight this giant. His weird thing, he was good at throwing rocks. When you break it down, he was like, do you think that perhaps, like if we look at the story, perhaps someone might have been like, David, you stop throwing those rocks, you're going to break a window. No, it wasn't any windows back then. But it wasn't a big deal. Oh, you can sling rocks. It's not a big deal that you can sling rocks until you get into the moment where you got to face the giant. See, it's not a big deal that Captures by Kaposi could take pictures until she's capturing pictures and it's making a difference, right? See, you could think that it's not a big deal that you can do something until you're doing it and you realize it is a big deal. It's a big deal. She was taking pictures of the horses in the field. It's a big deal. It did something for her dreams to be able to take those pictures. It's a big deal because it did something for those young ladies today that had their pictures taken. Professional photography got done for them. That's a big deal. That they get to see themselves a certain kind of way. It's a big deal. We need to stop minimizing what we do. Don't minimize what you do. Actually, the very opposite. Start amplifying what you do. No more talk about, oh, I just do this or I'm just that. You're not just. Don't minimize yourself to being a just. Oh, I just have a farm, or I just have horses, or I just sing songs, or I just write poetry. If we minimize what we do, we'll never see the great value in what we do and how we can actually make an impact in the world with what we do. For a long time in life, I would say, I just talk. I just talk like, okay, a lot of people talk. Many people talk every day. Like, I just talk. Until I really realized that words have the power to change someone's life. We had a conversation the other day, Captured by Kaposi and I. We had a conversation using words that translated into photo shoot. What words are you using? See, if we're going to really tap into our inner oddball, we have to be very careful about the words that we use. Are you using words to encourage you forward? Or are you using words that are diminishing your value? How are you using your words? Like, do you know how much you could add to your relationship if you realized you had value? Stop justing yourself. I'm just this. Don't do that anymore. You have a tremendous amount of value, but it rests upon your own self-esteem. How do you esteem yourself? What do you see in yourself? What do you see in your story? Are you willing to share it? Are you willing to share your experiences and your hurts and your victories and your defeats and your dreams and your fears and your courage? Are you willing to take any of that and share it with someone? Are you willing to take your talents and share it with someone? A woman that I'm working with, she's this amazing scientist, right? She's a scientist and she can sing and she can play the guitar and she has all these amazing talents. And she's running a science preview. She's right now, she's in the midst of 3 days of doing a preview of her science program that'll last during the summer. And she has her camera set up and she's doing all these experiments, really cool experiments, showing kids how to take household items. I learned something new. I'm like sitting in there, I'm learning stuff new. She's talking about friction, and today was all about friction. Yesterday, she taught them like how to make cake in a cup, in a mug, in the microwave in like 90 seconds. But she talked about how when you're stirring up ingredients, all this stuff is happening. And it was really cool. I'm like, science was never this fun to me. Not this fun. That's her inner oddball. She found her thing. What's your thing? What's your inner oddball? What is it that you do? What is it that you know? And what is your story? What is your backdrop behind it that makes your inner oddball so odd? See, I know what it's like to have the low self-esteem, to have a farm, and to have a horse, and to go through heartbreak, and to be a girl dad, and to have a son, and to have twins, and all these things, to work with women. That's part of my inner oddball. Like I say it all the time. I'm a brother that started a sisterhood. So I started a movement, a revolution, a sisterhood as a man. That's not normal. I know that's not normal. The shirt that I have on right now, it says Cinderella Strong, not because someone else made it up, but because I made it up. Because I wanted women to know that every woman had the power to transform her life. So I work on that. I serve women that want to transform their lives. You want to launch your business? I help. I was in a group just a few minutes ago, and we were doing our Zoom session because it's a dream achievers group. How do we achieve our dreams? And that's what we work on. See, it's my inner oddball. That's the thing. The thing that makes me weird is the thing that makes me special. So my question and my challenge to you is, are you looking for the thing that makes you weird? Are you looking for your inner oddball? My heart was broken last night when I heard about the tragedy going on in Texas. And I thought about it as I work with young people. And I thought, I was driving down the street. And as I was driving down the street, I was having a conversation and making a presentation in an assembly to young people. This is as I'm driving down the street. And I'm having this conversation with these young people. And I'm telling them that they matter. All of you. You all matter. Each and every one of you, you matter. I understand some of you may be mocked and ridiculed. And I'm having this conversation in my mind. I'm encouraging an auditorium full of children that I don't even know, that I've never even met. But in my mind, I'm seeing an assembly. And I'm encouraging these kids because sometimes, and I know what it's like when you're the ridiculed one, when you're the bullied one. I know what that's like. That's a part of my inner oddball that I have that story. And I know what it's like. So I'm thinking about these kids, and I'm thinking about being able to talk to these kids and encourage these young people and let them know you matter. I understand you might be mad because people have bullied you. You might be upset because you feel overlooked. And you might be, your heart might be broken because those that have mistreated you or abused you. I get it, but you matter. See, young people that go through those experiences can become adults that have been through those experiences that have never been healed. But you, as an adult or a young person, however old you are watching this, you need to know that you matter. That the thing inside of you that you might have been mocked and ridiculed about, that someone told you that you talk too much or that you're too loud or that you're too flamboyant, whatever it may be, that is a part of your inner oddball. That is a part of your gift to the world. Captures by Kaposi has an eye for seeing a picture, and she captures it. It's what makes you special. So I just want to encourage you. Yeah, look at your story like we talked about last night. And then take that thing to the next level and think about how, when it all comes together, as you start piecing it all together, how does it make you weird? How does it make you odd? How does it make you really different? When you start putting, like my friend was doing, Becky, how she was doing in her science, when she started adding all of those ingredients to the cup, and she started to stir it all up. She said, it was fun. She did this. As she was putting the first ingredient in, which was flour, she put 5 tablespoons of flour in, and she told the kid, she was like, go ahead, you can taste it. And then, you lick your finger and you taste it. You're like, flour doesn't taste all that great, right? It's kind of just bland. But as she started adding different ingredients to this mug, they stirred it all up. Then she said, taste it again. The one aspect of your story may not be too good. Maybe another aspect of your story, not too good. But when all things begin working together, let me just tell you, all things are working together for your good. And you stir it all up and then you taste it and you're like, okay, okay, this is starting to taste like something. And then it gets into the right environment and starts getting heated up. And she was teaching them about friction. When you stir it all up, when you stir up the gift, there is some friction that is in you. And the friction of stirring up your gift then produces some heat. And then the thing that is in you starts to rise. I learned this yesterday in science. It starts to rise. It's the friction of the ingredients that cause this thing to rise up in you. You got to stop looking at yourself thinking, I don't have anything to give. No, you do. It's in all your stories. It's all your stories, all your experiences. Bring it all together. Boom. Start stirring up your gift. What's your gift? All of it together. Start stirring it up, and it's going to be odd. It's going to be weird, and you start stirring it up. And what do? You start putting some pressure to it. Start putting yourself out there. Start sharing. Start reaching out to others. Don't just live on the inside. Like, look for your photo shoot. Look for the moment that you get to capture with your gift. Look for it. That you got to test it. You got to put it out. You got to go for it. You got to share. You got to do the thing. It'll change your life. Don't resist your inner oddball. Embrace it. It's a life-changing gift. You have something that makes a difference. And so I just want to encourage you, use it. You have a camera? Use it. You bake cookies? Bake them. You sing songs? Sing them. You take care of children? Take care of them. Do the thing that you do. You write business plans. You're a consultant. You teach. You drive cars. Like, whatever you do. Customer service. Wherever you are, bring all of yourself to the moment. Deliver your gift. Deliver your talents. Come on, life is going to pass you by. Life is going to happen anyway. So don't do it just wondering what you could be. No, Become. Become everything you're capable of being. There is greatness inside of you, but you know how do you actually become great? The key to greatness is this: serve people. That's the key to greatness. If you want to be great, anyone that desires to be great must become a servant to others. You got to be willing to serve. I have some plants that are outside right now that started as seeds. But the only way they can ever bear fruit is that they become the plant. If they remain the seed of possibility, they will never bear the fruit that is realized through the process. You can't just be a possibility anymore. You have to stop living your life as a possibility. It could possibly happen. No. Go ahead and exhaust the possibility by going for it. Everything that you are is within, waiting to be discovered. Dis means not, covered means concealed. Everything that you are is waiting to no longer be concealed within you. You want a different marriage? You want a more romantic relationship? The greater level of romance is in you, waiting to be discovered. But you got to stir it up. You need to go get some books, go get some books. You need to watch videos, watch videos. You need to go get some coaching, go get some coaching. Take a course. Do whatever you need to do so that you can apply greater romance to your relationship so you can have greater romance. You want to become a better singer, go take some lessons, but like it's all come in you practice. You have to do it. You have to do it. You cannot possibly just hang on to possibilities. You have to exhaust them. I like to think this. If you wake up and you have possibilities and you go to sleep at the end of the day and you still have those same possibilities, it meant you didn't do anything. It meant you didn't exhaust them. Possibilities are to be exhausted. Don't just hold on to them. So there's a challenge for tonight. Tonight's challenge. Last night, my challenge to you was this: write down as many parts and pieces of your story as you can. Thoughts, get it all down. Capture it, put it on paper. Start to just write down, this happened to me. I did this. I accomplished this. I went here. I've traveled here. I've done this. I wish I could go here. Someone said this to me. Someone said that. So write it all down. Get it all down. And then next, right? So now you have your ingredients list, day one. Day two, you start putting it together. Start mixing it all together. What if I mix together the fact that I had low self-esteem, I enjoy working, serving women, I have a farm, I'm a dad, I'm a parent, so I know what it's like to want to see children developed in a healthy way with a healthy self-image. What if I pulled that all together? Oh, I know someone that's a photographer. What if I pull it all together? So weird. And then we create a photo shoot. Bring it all together. As you start to mix your ingredients and bring them together, you'll find out there are opportunities that are waiting for your special, unique gift because you're one of one. Like somebody else may have had low self-esteem. Somebody else may have had this. Somebody else may have had that. But the more you add to your story, who you are, you're one of one. And you create a unique place and a unique offering that no one else can make. So just be encouraged. Make your list, put the ingredients together. Start thinking about how it all goes together. How all these things, which may not all be good by themselves, but how they can all work together for your good. That's the message. That's the challenge for tonight. Day two, that's the challenge. Tomorrow, there'll be a new challenge. But for tonight, take your paper, start mixing it all together. You got this. Because this is take action time. Start thinking, this is a creative space where you can start thinking, how can these things go together? How can I put it all together? You know why? Because how opens up the door to possibilities. And when you have possibilities, you can begin to exhaust possibilities. All right. So that's what we have tonight. I appreciate you being here. So glad that you were here. I need to go outside and make sure that the possibilities of my little chickens' lives get to last. So I need to make sure they are safe and secure before the foxes and late night predators come out and, try to get at them. So let's shut it down. I'm going to pray because that's what I do. So let's shut it down the way that we do. Father, thank you for this day that you've made for us to rejoice and be glad in. Thank you for the opportunity to be together with all of these incredible people. I thank you for the possibilities of their lives, the possibilities that are there to be exhausted. I thank you for everything, each of the different aspects of our stories that we get to bring together so that we can discover this inner oddball, that we can discover that thing that is within us that is strange and odd and weird. And it is that thing that gives us an opportunity to add value wherever we show up. So thank you for these things. I pray tonight as we go forward that each and every person would take action with looking at themselves through eyes of value and worth, knowing that they do indeed matter, that their lives matter, that their dreams matter, that their gifts and abilities and their talents matter, their experiences matter. It all matters. They matter. Let them be encouraged. Let them feel loved and appreciated and valued, even as they put their life together and serve it and share it. Let them know that they are appreciated. Let the right people come across their path and let words be spoken into their hearing and recognition be there so that they know they matter. Each and every one. I pray protection for them, for their homes, their loved ones, their family members. I pray protection for their dreams and their hopes and their aspirations. And I pray that they will be blessed even as they align and serve their gift to the world. Thank you so much for what is happening, what has been happening, and what we anticipate will happen. In advance, we thank you because we count these things as done. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Have a fantastic evening. I see a question. Can people with contrasting personalities still have a happy and satisfying relationship? Absolutely. People can have the relationship they are willing to work for. That's the truth of it. The truth of it is personalities, that's an aspect of a relationship and how we relate to one another. People can have personalities that mesh wonderfully, but if they don't work on it, their relationship will still crumble. So people can have the happy and satisfying relationship they're willing to work for. Having personalities that align is it's going to be helpful. But even more so than having personalities align is having an understanding of the differences and still choosing to work together to have harmony. Differences in personalities can be an asset to a relationship because you get different perspectives. The effort has to be aligned. Two cannot walk together unless there is agreement. That agreement is going to have to be one of effort, one of commitment, one of direction, one of focus. This is where we're going. This is what we want from our relationship. This is what we're committed to doing. This is our commitment to action. We show up like that, then we have thriving relationships. All right, you all have a fantastic evening. I'm B.A. Shepherd, 2Ps, ARD, reminding you to be a shepherd. The world has enough sheep. Love you much. Good night. See you.